Alright, here we go. Today we have a 1v1 on Twin Peaks between Sanguinius13 and Atyla. Atyla is in the Gabe Phantom Bomber and Sanguinius is in the Lilith Medic Osprey. So, Sanguinius is bunkering jumpers right at the start, and they have both put 5 moneymakers down, and looks like Atyla is also bunkering jumpers. Jumpers are one of the most popular infantry in today's meta. Sanguinius hiding some generators, which is interesting. You don't normally see players bring generators in a 1v1, but with such a low unit cap on Twin Peaks, it is a good idea to have. So here we go. Sanguinius putting Buckies right for the start to kill the neutrals at mid, but Atyla is bringing jumpers to Sanguinius' close in an attempt to neutralize it, but Sanguinius has jumpers coming out to relight those bulbs. Atyla coming back for more jumpers, while Sanguinius puts in more jumpers and moves up his Buckies toward the mid. Atyla dropping some jumpers and trying to kill a few Buckies. He does kill one and is making some bombs to probably kill more Buckies. Sanguinius barely able to keep that outpost under his control. Atyla not able to kill any Buckies with those bombs, so he'll come back for some more. Sanguinius doing a great job of microing his units, although does just lose 2 Buckies, but he has been able to keep this outpost under his control without too much hassle. So Atyla now trying to bomb that moneymaker, but Sanguinius was right there. It would have been a better choice to go for something where Sanguinius wasn't aware or wasn't near it. Going for these base moneymakers now, but Sanguinius notices and right away picks it up. Atyla dropping and slashing to try and kill some moneymakers, but Sanguinius with that heal can quickly heal them up and dropping a seeker, so Atyla has to run away and brings out some more jumpers. Sanguinius still trying to push this mid with Buckies, but Buckies don't do too much damage unless they are clumped up in a lot of units. So he hasn't been able to kill any of the neutrals yet. Atyla dropping some jumpers and bringing some more to hopefully kill a moneymaker or two. But Sanguinius dropping to kill the rest of those, dropping some Buckies with his heal. Just great micro all around for Sanguinius. And Atyla just not doing a very effective harass here on Twin Peaks. So Sanguinius will finally be able to start building an army of Buckies to neutralize those, kill those neutrals. He has to be aware though, Atyla does have bombs, so if he puts them too close together, Buckies are very susceptible to bombs. But he is healing them up as Atyla is bombing them. Atyla not pushing for mid still, he is just building up a small army of Dillos. I would really like to see him move those Dillos up here, and so then they can start shooting at these neutrals. But Sanguinius is the only player right now that is even attempting to push for mid. Atyla is doing solely harass. He does kill quite a few Buckies there, but dies on the way out. So Sanguinius taking advantage of that death to move up his Buckies without any opposition from Atyla. So he's got a good line there. It is, if Atyla comes with bombs, which he does, yes. So it's dangerous, but Sanguinius does pick them up, so Atyla not able to kill anything really there. So Sanguinius has a great foothold on mid now. It's going to be hard for Atyla to try and get into that mid fight. He is now building a TechPod 2 and an Aegis to stop those Bucky rockets. But he is just too late. I think Sanguinius will be able to grab this mid without any problems. He is building some jumpers to capture it and put up those bulbs. And jumpers are really hard to knock down when they're in bulbs as well. So he's just bringing all his units to fortify this mid. Mid is so important on Twin Peaks. There's very little outposts, so mid is just super important to get an advantage in, especially in a 1v1 as well. Atyla doesn't really have any units to break a mid turtle. He just has Sonya and Aegis, and he does die over his base. Sanguinius doing a great job of following up behind him and shooting before the Aegis could kill the rockets and the outpost could heal him. So Sanguinius taking advantage of that death to get a firm hold on mid and bunker his generators. It is now starting the bottom neutralization process to try and capture bottom to get full map control. Atyla is doing the same thing. He has finished building his Tech Pod 2 and so has 2 Goliaths in his build queue and is trying to kill those neutrals at mid and is bringing the Goliaths down to mid. So he will be able to grab mid quickly with those Goliaths. But Sanguinius has control of mid and is placing those buggies at the edge of the abyss to try and shoot over at Atyla's units. But there is an Aegis, 2 Aegis actually, so the buggies won't do too much damage there. Atyla moving up his Goliaths and we'll be able to capture that outpost soon. Sanguinius doing the same thing with Longhorns and Buckies, however, so they'll both capture at about the same time. He has also just built his Tech Pod 2, I believe, so he'll be able to build Goliath soon, and Sanguinius has taken that outpost just as Atyla takes the outpost, so same time. So Sanguinius still has map control. It's quite an even fight at mid right now. Atyla does have 4 Goliaths down here though, so he really needs to push out those Goliaths before Sanguinius is able to finish building his Tech Pod and start building Goliath himself. So Sanguinius really needs to take advantage of his Goliaths, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that in time because Sanguinius now has 4 Goliaths in his build queue. He has so much money saved up for those and is now trying to push up those Buckies because the Buckies can shoot out of range of those Goliaths. So Atyla putting up some Aegis to stop those Bucky rockets from damaging his Goliaths. Atyla really does have the perfect counter to Sanguinius' spam unit of Buckies, which is the Bomber and the Aegis, because Bombers just rip up Buckies. Buckies have such low health but high DPS, so Bombers can quickly kill loads of them. Sanguinius, it'll be interesting to see where he pulls those out. If Atyla tries to do a push over here, he'll be surprised to find 4 Goliaths suddenly defending Sanguinius' outpost. He does have 5 though, however. Sanguinius only has 4 in his build queue, along with some Buckies and Longhorn as defense. So nothing really going on up here right now. There's just a good line of defense and a good line of defense at the mid for Sanguinius and Atyla. So the fight is really all at the bottom right now. A good strategy on Twin Peaks is to try and make people be in 2 places at once. So as Sanguinius is doing right now, he's going to drop these Buckies for the outpost attack and to get some damage. And at the same time, he's probably going to take out these Goliath out of his build queue and start the attack on this outpost. So Atyla cannot defend his outpost and his base at the same time, so he has to choose to stop the base damage over saving his units. So I really want to see Sanguinius is now pulling out his Goliaths. Oh, and Atyla does go down. That's a big death. So Sanguinius he can easily kill. Oh, Atyla does spam his respawn, but he was able to get a good foothold on this outpost attack. Atyla only has 1 Goliath, Sanguinius has 2, and he's pulling out more out of his build queue, and Atyla goes down again to the Goliath. So it looks like Sanguinius will be able to kill all of the units at Atyla's close outpost and neutralize it and eventually take it for his team, because Atyla is just losing all of his units and he's died twice. So he is retreating his Goliath down here. He's probably going to make a last-ditch push because he knows he has lost his top outpost. Sanguinius going down to his close now and actually pulling out a Goliath, so he must sense that Atyla will probably try a last-ditch all-in push from the bottom because that's the only outpost he owns. So Atyla is doing that, in fact, and Sanguinius guessed it, so he does have a good defense down here, and he also has 5 Goliaths in his build queue to pull out if necessary, which he does. So Atyla has 7 Goliaths in a line here. It looks like they're on Y, but Sanguinius is able to pull out 5 from his build queue as well as some Longhorns, so they're just going to chew up these Goliaths because he does have the outpost to heal them up as well as his Osprey. Atyla trying to bring them over to the base, but Sanguinius catches him, so he has to escape. So it looks like Sanguinius was just too well prepared for this push. If Atyla had pushed a lot sooner before Sanguinius had built his Tech Pod 2 and gotten Goliaths, and he does go down there. Sanguinius doing a great job of body blocking with those tanks, even using his Tech Pod 2 to block that damage. He has lost about a fourth of his health, however. So if Atyla had pushed his Goliaths before Sanguinius had made his Tech Pod 2 and built Goliaths, the Goliaths would have been able to rip through Sanguinius' Buckies and Longhorns, and he might have been even able to take this bottom outpost, but he waited a little too long. He wasn't sure he would be able to do it, and so now he doesn't have his close outpost. Sanguinius does take that under his control once again. So it looks like Sanguinius has almost full map control, and he has so much money and credits, and Atyla does go down again to Sanguinius. And so all of Atyla's Goliaths are now dead. Atyla calling the GG Re. So he did push all of his mobile units at the bottom, and they all died. And his Goliaths up to defend his close were also killed. So Sanguinius just doing a better job of microing his Goliaths. It was really a Goliath heavy game, which is slightly unusual. You don't normally see this many Goliaths in a 1v1, but another great job of body blocking that Goliath. So Sanguinius just doing a better job healing and moving around his Goliaths, so microing them, and is now pushing out for a final push to Atyla's base. He does have full map control now. Atyla spent too much time harassing Sanguinius' outposts. It's really hard to harass on small maps, especially like Twin Peaks, because there's really only one or two spots you can harass, so it's really easy for the other player to come back and defend his outpost or base or moneymakers from that harass. If it was a larger map, Atyla's strategy would have worked better, but he should have realized that and gone for mid instead. So that was a good game by Sanguinius and Atyla. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Download Airmech to play yourself, and maybe I'll cast your games. Like and subscribe and refer me in-game if you like the commentary, and I'll be coming out with more soon. Thanks for watching.